At Thanksgiving dinner, my uncle asked, "So what did you end up doing with all that settlement money from your accident?" I looked up from my plate. "What settlement money?" Uncle Frank's smile faded instantly. "From the car accident 5 years ago. When that delivery truck ran the red light and you spent 3 weeks in the hospital." My sister Heather made a strange choking sound. I watched her face drain of all color, turning almost gray under the dining room lighting. "I never got any settlement money," I said slowly, a cold feeling spreading through my chest. "I'm still paying off those hospital bills in installments." Uncle Frank put down his wine glass very carefully. "Brianna, the insurance company settled for $127,000. I know because I helped your mom with the paperwork when you were still recovering. You were only 17, so it went into a custodial account until you turned 18. I turned to my mother, waiting for her to clear up this obvious misunderstanding, but she wouldn't look at me, suddenly very interested in cutting her turkey into impossibly tiny pieces. "Mom?" My voice came out barely above a whisper. My mind was racing, trying to make the pieces fit together. "I turned 18 5 years ago. Where did the money go?" The silence stretched out forever. I could hear the kitchen faucet dripping in the other room, each drop echoing like a countdown. "We gave it to Heather," Mom finally whispered, her voice cracking, "for her education and getting started with her life." The words didn't make sense at first. They literally didn't compute in my brain. "You gave my money to Heather?" I repeated, each word coming out separately and distinctly. "The money from my accident? From my broken bones and my 3 weeks in the hospital and my 6 months of physical therapy? You were getting financial aid for community college," Heather said defensively, her voice shrill and desperate. "You didn't need it as much as I did. I had private university tuition and living expenses." I stared at her, actually stared, seeing my sister clearly for maybe the first time in my entire life. "Is that where you got your car?" The question came out flat and dead. "That Audi you bought junior year that you said was from your internship?" She didn't answer, but her face answered for her. "The apartment downtown you lived in?" My voice was getting louder, stronger. "The study abroad semester in Paris? The designer clothes you kept posting online?" "We were going to tell you," Mom started weakly. "When?" I shouted, standing up so fast my chair toppled backward and hit the wall. "When exactly were you planning to mention that you stole $127,000 from your daughter who got hit by a truck?" The math was simple and devastating. While I'd been working 40 hours a week at Target and going to community college at night, sleeping 4 hours and living on energy drinks and stress, Heather had been spending my blood money on her dream life. "I called you crying," I said, my voice breaking completely. "I called you crying because I couldn't afford my textbooks, and you told me to budget better. I was eating dollar menu food for dinner while making monthly payments on bills from my own accident. You were always so resilient," Heather said, tears starting to stream down her face now. "You were handling everything fine." "Handling it?" I repeated the word, tasting like poison in my mouth. "I had to drop 2 classes last semester because I couldn't afford them and work enough hours to pay rent. I've been living in a basement apartment with black mold because it's all I can afford. I haven't been to a dentist in 3 years." Uncle Frank was doing calculations on his phone, his face getting redder by the second. $127,000 plus 5 years of interest at even a conservative rate. "We're talking about $145,000 to $150,000 in total value you were owed." Mom was sobbing now, but I felt absolutely nothing looking at her tears. She'd had 5 years to feel guilty, 5 years to tell the truth. "That money was supposed to compensate me for permanent nerve damage in my left leg," I said, my voice deadly calm now. "For the nightmares I still have about that truck coming at me. For the fact that I can't run anymore without pain. And you gave it away like it was nothing." "She's still your sister," Mom pleaded desperately. "No," I said clearly. "She's a thief who watched me suffer for 5 years while spending money that belonged to me. That's not a sister. That's a stranger who stole my future." I grabbed my coat from the hallway, my hands surprisingly steady now. "Where are you going?" Mom asked, her voice small and afraid. "To a lawyer," I said simply, looking at Uncle Frank. "I'm assuming you kept all that paperwork?" He nodded grimly. "Every document. I'll have it ready tomorrow morning."